welcome back to Clutch Time. This is your host, Rico, and in today's episode, we are talking about last night's action in the SWBA, and so we're going to be doing some Game 4 recaps, and so let's go ahead and jump into it. And so I wanted to start with the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Miami Heat. And so I talked a little bit about this with Marsh on SimWorld today, and just talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers and how they handled the Miami Heat. And I'll say it again, I was very impressed with what they were able to do. And for me, it's all about just sending a message. I think that if you're a team that you expect to win an SWBA championship, I think that you have to send the message. And I think that, look, when teams see that they have another team down, they go ahead and they take care of business. They do not play with that team. And so I've got to give the Cleveland Cavaliers a lot of credit for going out and taking care of business against the Miami Heat like this, because you know that the Miami Heat, look, they have a ton of pride. You knew that, you thought that they were going to bring their best game out there. I think that maybe they did. It's just that the Cleveland Cavaliers, they were just that much more better. And so, look, I got to give them tons of credit for taking care of business there. And then with Donovan Mitchell, I just love how he's really turned it up, I think, throughout the series. I think that he started off very slowly, wasn't a very good game one. I think game two, game three, he really started to pick it up. And then, like the leader that they need him to be, really took this team home. In last night's game, he actually led them in scoring, 22 points. He was plus 31 in the plus-minus box score, and he also had 5 assists. And so you love that from your leader, a guy that you expect that, look, when things are tough, we can give the basketball to him and he'll find a way to get it done. And so I think that that is really point number 2, as far as just taking away from this game last night. Statistically, look, there's not very much to look at with this one. I mean, the Miami Heat just got pretty much stomped in this one. But again, I think that this is more about the Cleveland Cavaliers establishing who they are as a team and moving forward. And I think another key aspect for the Cavaliers last night in their win was just what DeAndre Hunter had did too as well. He had 19 points. He was 6 of 11 from the field, and he was plus 25 in the plus-minus box score. This is another thing that, look, I was talking to Marsh about in SimWorld today. I think that he has been just an outstanding pickup via the trade deadline. I thought that that was a huge add to this team because of the things that he can do defensively. He gives you that type of versatility. I love the fact that DeAndre Hunter can also go to work in different areas on the floor. He kind of opens up your offense a bit more. He can hit the mid-range. He can get to the rim. He can also knock down some three-point shots and things like that. And really, it's almost like a match that was perfect for him because he was a college teammate with Ty Jerome in Virginia. And so these guys really have it clicking. And Ty Jerome, look, he's been terrific for the Cavaliers. He had 18 points. He was plus 28 in the plus-minus box score. He was 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 3 of 5 from downtown, 5 of 8 from the field. It's just incredible to think that Ty Jerome was literally trying to find his way in the SWBA when you start to see stuff like that. And so, again, I love that. Javonte Green, he's another guy that I think you should start to pay attention to, especially as the Cavaliers move into round 2, maybe face the Indiana Pacers, which we'll talk about that on SWBA today. But Javonte Green, look, he plays with a level of kind of force on the defensive end. You almost feel like it's 5 Javonte Greens out there. I know this from covering the Chicago Bulls. He was once there. So Javonte Green in this last game against the Heat, 11 points. He had 3 rebounds. He had 2 steals, 3 of 4 from the field. But look for him. He's an undersized forward that plays a lot like he's 7 feet tall out there and moves like a guard. So I think that that's another great pickup for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And so for the Miami Heat, just reflecting on their season, I think that they did a terrific job as far as putting it together after the Jimmy Butler trade. I do expect for, Pat Riley to really put this organization in its best direction in the offseason. What that's going to look like, not sure, but I do like what they have with Khalil Ware. I think that Bam, look, he's reaching another level. I think that Tyler Hero is also reaching another level. They've just got to figure out some other pieces. I like that they got Davion Mitchell over. I think that he's going to be an impactful player for the Miami Heat moving forward. Andrew Wiggins, I mean, he's there. I don't know if the Miami Heat maybe think of going a different direction that way. Didn't get necessarily as much as you wanted to out of this series, but again, came over in that trade, maybe still trying to get comfortable and just kind of, acclimated to their situation and how they kind of their style of play and stuff like that with Miami. So that's one of the things maybe to watch over the offseason. And so next, I wanted to talk about the last game of the night, and that was the Golden State Warriors versus the Houston Rockets here. And so, look, this was a tough loss for the Houston Rockets because now you got the Golden State Warriors that are 3-1 in this series. They won 109-106. And by the way, the Cavs beat the Heat 138-83. And so with the Warriors winning yesterday's game, I almost wonder, is the series over? Because I just think that this is a team that has the championship experience. And I was just talking about this with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Teams that really are looking to go deep in the SWBA playoffs and really you want to get to the title, you have to be able to take care of a team when they're down. And I think that the Warriors, they sense it. And I think that they're going to come out in Houston with everything that they've got. And they're also ready for the punch that they're going to take from the Houston Rockets. I'm sure that they're going to come out and they're going to give the Golden State Warriors all that they can handle. But I just think that Steph, he's been there before. Draymond certainly has been there before. And Jimmy, look, he's been a one-man show at times. And so you know that he is with anything that comes at him in this next game. And so I just like the Golden State Warriors moving forward. In last night's game, I thought that Jimmy Butler was huge. 40 minutes of play, 27 points, 6 assists, +2. And 5 rebounds. I mean, this is exactly why the Golden State Warriors got him. And I'd say probably the biggest stat out of what he did last night, 12 of 12 from the free throw line. The Golden State Warriors have been absolutely outstanding at getting to the free throw line and knocking down free throws since Jimmy Butler got there. That is an added dimension to their half-court game that they did not have. And they're so tough defensively with him on the floor. And so he would definitely want to take care of this series and get out of this and get the most rest possible as they get ready for round 2. Quentin Post, I think he played very well in this game, 13 points, 4 rebounds. We've been talking about him. Really, the Golden State Warriors don't have necessarily an interior presence. Brandon Porzinski, 26 points, the 5 assists and the 5 rebounds and +7. I think the difference here is he's feeling a lot better. I think he had been ill a couple of games earlier in the series, and then Buddy Hield. This is exactly why you got him, knocking down 3-point shots, hitting some big shots and stuff like that. So Buddy Hield, the others playing well. And for the Houston Rockets, once again, we continue to look at this point. Jalen Green, 8 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from deep, -11, and just 3 rebounds and an assist. And so he's a great player, an outstanding player, but you cannot go from the highest of highs that he has, where he has 38 points, 25, 26 points, and then he goes down and he gives you single digits at 8. All right. And so this is why I'm thinking of another piece of content that I did and was talking about why I think the Chicago Bulls would be wise to hold on to Kobe White and not trade for Jalen Green. And this is why, because you see statistically, here's a guy that he's just, it's so up and down. And so until he figures that out, I think that this is probably what you're going to see the results being for the Houston Rockets, because he is their most dynamic scorer, and not to take anything away from Jabari Smith and, Van Fleet and Alperen Şengün, who's terrific. I love him as a big, and Amen Thompson, but he is the most dynamic scorer for the Houston Rockets, and you just cannot have these type of games. And I just think that this is what we've been talking about with the Houston Rockets, in the fact that they have had to learn through it, right? You grow through it and you learn through it. And I think that this is what we're seeing in the SWBA. These guys are just going through it and they're learning through it right now. And unfortunately, it's tough. You've had a great season. It's not over yet, but you're going against players and just coaches who have been to the top of the top. and not taking anything away from the Houston Rockets, but just collectively as a group, they just don't have that much experience. And so that is the key to this series. And so got to give Alperen Şengün a lot of credit, 31 and 10. Dylan Brooks, loved the energy that he's given you defensively, also gave you 11 as well. Thompson got 17, and just off the bench, the Rockets, that's really been their calling card too, is I think that they had a chance to really outscore the Golden State Warriors off the bench. And so when you have Quentin Post outscoring you, that's not going to be a good formula for a win. So anyway, let me know in the comments here what your key takeaway was from the Golden State Warriors versus the Houston Rockets last night. Do you feel like the series is over with it now being 3-1 with the Golden State Warriors? And next, what do you think here about the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Miami Heat? Do you feel like that they definitely sent a message and they look like a team that's ready to win the SWBA Finals? So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Stay tuned. We'll be talking a little bit more SWBA later today. We'll be doing some previews for these upcoming games today. All right, see the game and be the game. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.